There is a mounting push for former Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi to return to the PDP fold. This development comes as the PDP seeks to consolidate its strength ahead of the 2027 general elections. Obi, who departed the PDP in 2022 to contest the 2023 presidential election under the Labour Party, has recently engaged in discussions with key PDP figures. Meanwhile, the PDP is currently facing significant internal challenges marked by factional disputes and leadership tussles. The party is particularly undermined by a series of defections, with over 300 members reportedly joining the APC between February 2024 and February 2025. As the 2027 election approaches, the PDP faces the dual challenge of resolving its internal crisis and presenting a united front and candidates to the electorate. Well, joining us now for a chat on the growing call for Peter Obi to return to the PDP and the festering crisis in the party is former Ogun State PDP governorship aspirant Segun Shomi. Good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us on Newsday.
It's nice to be with you, ladies. How are you all?
Fine, thank you. So, Mr. Shomi, let's get right into it. What are the potential benefits and drawbacks of Obi's return to the PDP, and how do you think it will affect the party's internal dynamics and external relationships?
Very good question. First things first. With due respect, Peter is at liberty to do whatever he thinks is in his best interest before we get the impression that anybody is forcing him or pushing him or dragging him or pulling him. No. What are the potential advantage first for Peter before I then go to the potential advantage for PDP? Because that party, People's Democratic Party of Nigeria, in my opinion, owes a southeastern debt. Sir Alex Ekweme, one of the drivers and the founders of this party, dragged the Indigbos into that party. He tried to be president in 1999. He came short in the primary, but notwithstanding that, the Indigbos have been very, very passionate, very consistent with the party. If you look at our numbers on in the seasons when we used to win, between 1999 until 2015, including the 2015 and 2019, our biggest numbers came from them. And if you are part of those who believe that the pendulum, when it goes to the north for 8 years, must swing to the south for 8 years, then you have to ask, if the PDP is to go south, where is the equity for them? I hold a very strong view that that equity is in the southeast. Now, for Peter to be able to cash onto that equity, what does Peter bring to the table and what will Peter be earning? On the table is that with very little effort, he will bring in the southeast. He will bring in a lot of the numbers in the south side, never mind the fact that governors are jumping up and down. He will bring in the Christian north, and he will bring in every middle, fair-minded Nigeria that is looking for a different type of country. That's what Peter will bring for PDP. And what will Peter get from PDP? He will be getting, however he even may be lazy with his campaign, he'll be getting a grassroots party that understands that you can't go to election without having, what they call, there's one word I'm looking for, skip me now. Those people that are agents in every polling unit, he will get that. At the worst outing of PDP, the smallest number we ever got was the one that was allocated in 2023, which is 6.9. Before then, we will always bring in a respectable 12-point-something million, sometimes 12-point-something, and sometimes as high as 22-point-something million. So if Peter thinks that that energy is good for him, it's for him to take that decision. If he doesn't believe that, he's at liberties to go and start struggling positions with people who think that he's a schoolboy who must be invited to come and be number 2, never mind the fact that there's no reason why he should not desire number 1. If Nnamdi Azikiwe was alive today, what would he have said to Peter? he would have said, and I dare guess to Peter that, look, Peter, you have gotten back some political respect for us in Igbo land. Under no circumstance must, if they can, your message, they cannot respect your drive, they cannot respect your passion, then let them go and cast that vote and throw it in the Atlantic Ocean for you. That's Peter's business. Now, for the PDP itself, because the party is not doing too badly at the base, they don't have much problem at the grassroots. They don't have much problem at the states. They don't have much problem at the zones.
Well,
in fact, I dare say they have only but
just for the sake of time.
Oh, yeah,
and also on the same
interrupt.
Since we are talking about the PDP now, and the plot is thickening, what lessons do you think that the PDP have learned since the last elections and Peter Obi's departure? And the significant impact he had under Labour Party and, of course, the obedience which he will most certainly be bringing along with him if he does join the PDP?
Just before just after the primaries that produced the president, the ticket in the hands of His Excellency, the last candidate, they had called a meeting of some of the stakeholders. And I had been brave enough to stand up in their midst to say, dear beloved PDP, you cannot have a Peter Obi problem, have a Wike challenge at the same time. You are not going to make it. Unfortunately, his words are words. But if only they know the amount of research that goes into thinking before you can offer them words. Did we make it? In the middle of that campaign, let me share this with you for the purpose of experience. When the campaign was going on and everybody was settled, and our rivals, the APC, started introducing the concept of placeholder, I ran to his alive, Mimiko, and asked that they should please get Peter back into the room with me. Myself, Mimiko, and Peter, and I begged Peter, I said, Peter, now you have gotten to the point where nobody can ignore you. Why don't you let us go back to the PDP and make you the vice president and use Okowa for a placeholder, because it's not going to bring anything to the table anyway. Peter was a little bit willing and, a little bit undecided. I reported it back to the PDP that at this material point in time, do what our rivals have done. Use Okowa as placeholder and get Peter back. I called the civil society leaders. I said, okay, what do I need to do? They told me, fund a meeting. If you fund that meeting, we'll do a communique, blah, blah, blah. They didn't listen. Did we win? Okay, we didn't win. What lessons have we learned? Very simple lesson. The political parties on their own can no longer insist that people are just going to vote for you because you are shouting your slogan. The nation and the electorate and younger people are now looking for a different type of leader. I'm not saying that Peter can do it all by himself without help, don't get me wrong. And I'm not saying that others cannot win. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying that if the energy that is driving conversation is anything to go by, they should just beg him back. And they should stop playing games. And we can then solve the southeastern debt we have. And I believe that the PDP must have learned a serious lesson, which is that you can't undermine the gist that has been giving you the most numbers.